black. Let me run my fingers down your back. Strip it down, back to you and me. I'm get used to. Do you suffer from stank towel? No matter how many times you wash it, it always has that musty smell? Ugh. I have the solution for this problem next. The things you're going to need to make this homemade laundry detergent are some washing soda, borax, baking soda, a 14.1 ounce bar of Zote soap, and I'm going to use the pink stuff today. Now I got all these ingredients at Walmart, and they were in the laundry section. You're also going to need some kind of oxygen cleaner. I got this here at the Dollar Tree. It's called Totally Awesome Oxygen Cleaner. This just happens to be orange scented, but they do have a regular scent also. And for my recipe, I'm also going to use these Lavender Blossoms Purex crystals, and that's just to scent your soap. If you don't want scented soap, feel free to just leave that out. You're also going to need some sort of gallon jug. I'm going to use these Arizona tea containers because it's a thicker plastic, but you could also just use milk jugs or vinegar bottles, and you're going to need 10 of them. You're also going to need a 5-gallon bucket with a lid and something to stir it with. Let's get started. So the first thing I did was go ahead and fill a stock pot about 3/4 full of water, and it's heating up over on my stove. You don't want it to boil, you just want it really hot. Next, you want to get something to grate up your Zote soap. I'm going to use this cheese grater on the small setting, but you could also just use your food processor. Now I just love the look of this Zote soap. They also make a white kind that you could also use, but the pink is so pretty. Now you just want to take your soap and grate it all up. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is melt our Zote soap flakes. Now I have a pot of water here about 3/4 full. It's not boiling, you can see it's just steaming. There's tiny little bubbles around the edges here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my grated Zote soap. I'm going to sprinkle it in here and stir it until it's all melted. Now you just want to grab something to stir it with. I have this wooden spoon here that I use specifically for this. And we're just going to stir this until all the flakes are melted. Now you can see that it will foam up here a little bit, and that's just fine. You just don't want it on a really high heat, because then it could scorch on the bottom. So you just want to continue to stir until all these big lumps are gone. Alright guys, now that all of my clumps of Zote soap are dissolved, the next thing we're going to add is borax. Now I'm going to put 2 3/4 cup of borax into this mixture. But if you're going to make this for baby soap, go ahead and only put 1 cup. Now you just want to give that a stir until this is all dissolved. Now when you add the borax, your mixture should start to gel up, and that's exactly what you want. We are making a very concentrated soap here that we're going to dilute later on. You can see how slimy and thick it's getting. Alright guys, so I just have a few more clumps here left over that I'm trying to melt down here. But this soap is great on any type of clothing. You can use it on whites, lights, or even your darks. I especially like using it on my kitchen towels. Before I started using this soap, my kitchen towels always smelled greasy. Whenever I fry chicken or pork chops or anything like that, I drain them on a towel, which Mother didn't like, and they never seem to get clean with those commercial laundry detergents. But the first time I used this stuff on my towels, it took the stink right out of them. Alright guys, this looks good. Now I'll show you what to do next. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is grab your 5-gallon bucket. I got this one at Walmart with a lid, and I use this only for soap. Now you want to fill it halfway full of the hottest water you can get from your faucet. And the next thing we're going to do is dump our pink soapy solution into this bucket and stir it up. Now just give it a stir. It's a good idea to put a towel down under your bucket just in case anything splashes around. Now the next thing we're going to do is put 2 3/4 cup of washing soda into our solution and stir that around. My washing soda is kind of clumpy here, so you just want to break up any big chunks. They will dissolve when they get into the hot water, but this just helps it along. So just dump that in and give it a stir. Then you want 1 cup of baking soda. And I'll go ahead and leave the recipe down below in the description box. Now you guessed it, give that a stir. Then go ahead and put 1 cup of your oxygen cleaner and give that a stir. Now you can see this is getting nice and thick and slimy. That's exactly what you want it to look like. Now finally, you just want to put about 3/4 of a cup or more of your Purex crystals. I'm going to go ahead and put about a cup. Because those Purex crystals are basically just Epsom salt scented, you really want to make sure they're good and dissolved. So just keep stirring until you don't hear any granules at the bottom. Alright guys, so now we're just going to fill up our bucket to about 1 inch from the top with hot water. So I think that's good. You don't want to go all the way to the top because when this gels up, it expands and you don't want to mess all over your floor. Now we're just going to give this a stir for about 2 minutes. Make sure everything is nice and incorporated. And now you just want to set this off to the corner where it won't be in the way. You want to cover your bucket loosely, and we're going to let this set for about 10 to 12 hours. Now in that time, I will come back and I'll give this all a good stir about 3 or 4 times. And tomorrow morning, I'll show you what to do next. Alright guys, so it's the next day here. This has been setting for about 10 to 12 hours. Actually a little longer in my case. So let's see what it looks like. You can see that it's very thick now. Very gelatinous. And you just want to give this a good stir and make sure it's well incorporated. You can see here that it's still a little chunky, but that's okay. Alright, that should be good enough. Now the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and fill up our gallon jugs. Now I have 10 jugs sitting here, and since this is a 5-gallon bucket, and these are 1-gallon jugs, we're going to go ahead and put 8 cups of our soap mixture into each jug. I have my 4-cup measuring cup here, so I'm just going to fill this up twice for each jug. And every once in a while, it's a good idea just to come back here and make sure everything's good and stirred up again. So I went ahead and I filled up my measuring cup 2 times for each jug. Like I said, that's 8 cups. And I do have a little bit here left. So I'm just going to evenly distribute the rest of this into each of the jugs. Alright guys, now you can see how far this filled up with our soap mixture. Now our next step is we're going to fill the rest up with water. And you want to leave a good headspace on here just so you have enough to shake up your jug each time you use it. This will separate when it sets. So like I said, you just want to give it a good shake every time you use it. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm all done. Alright guys, so I got 10 gallons of this homemade laundry detergent. Now there are many different recipes for homemade laundry detergent. This specific one I got from Janie Pendleton, and I find it the best one. It's super easy to whip up and very economical. Since you're already buying big boxes of Borax, washing soda, and baking soda, it makes sense just to grab another bar of Zote soap. Therefore you can get 20 gallons. And in my case, it was less than $20 for all of it. So that's less than $1 per gallon. And how much are you spending on a gallon of that commercial stuff that, in my opinion, doesn't get your clothes clean? They just put those on the market to make your clothes smell good. Now to use this, you only need about 1/2 cup per load, or 3/4 of a cup for a really dirty load. And I guarantee you, there will be no more stink towel. Now like I said, this laundry detergent will settle as it sets, so each time you use it, just give it a good shake. I hope you give this video a try. If you like this video and want to see more of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and give this video a big thumbs up. If you have a question about this video or any of my other videos, or would just like to leave a suggestion for an upcoming video, leave me a comment. Feel free to share this video across your social media. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.